My name is George Garrison, and I served in the Army from March 31st, 1941 till November the 6th in 45. That's 4 years, 7 months, and 6 days. And I served in the 38th Infantry Division. Took a basic training in the South, Mississippi and Louisiana, and served in the Pacific War. I went to Hawaii, New Guinea, Leyte, and Luzon. That's where we fought, was Leyte and Luzon. Of course, I was born in 1919 in Bourbon County and moved to Boyle County when I was a year old, and I've lived in Lincoln since the war. I live in this one-room schoolhouse here, the oldest school building in Lincoln County, they tell me. And I've been here for 64 years, I guess. I was in the same outfit the whole time, too. I was with the Somerset National Guard, Company B, 149th Infantry, 38th Infantry Division. And they're deactivated now. They're still in existence, but they're not mobilized as a division. When I went in the Army, soldiers was a rarity. See, that was 41. I was drafted out of Boyle County, and they needed 50, and my order number was 49. And this is the first bunch that was drafted out of Boyle County. So I went early and stayed late. I went before it started and stayed till it was over. And I was glad to get out because, I liked the Army, but it wasn't a life for me to make a career out of it. After 56 years, I got a Bronze Star that was recommended back in 45. Comrade, he was in a different platoon. He got shot and we was pinned down, and captain told me to take 2 men out of my squad and go in and get him. And I did, and we got him out. It was under machine gun fire, actually. And we got him back to safety, and he just died a month or two ago. I kept contact with him. He's and was in a nursing home down Broadhead. I mean, he's 95 when he passed away, and I got to go to his funeral down Mount Vernon. I believe that it was when our ship run aground at sea. We were one day out of Ore Bay, New Guinea, and was in a dust storm at sea. Now, mind you, that sounds a little far out, but it was a volcanic eruption on land, and ash made it dark as midnight at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. And we was aboard the USS Monterey, and she run aground, run up on a coral reef, and stuck there. And we stayed on all night. It wasn't taking on any water, but we stayed on all night. But we had to abandon it next day and go on into New Guinea on little LCIs. And that is a memory that'll stick with me. And I've got a spoon here that I took off of that ship when we abandoned it, little dessert spoon, sterling silver. I carried it all through the war with me. And I've got it hanging in the dining room with a picture of the ship. So that has really stuck with me. And then, of course, when I helped carry that gentleman out, Earl Ponder, the outfit, he got shot, and we went in and carried him out. That's how I got the Bronze Star.
What was the first thing you did when you got back home?
Well, I bent down and kissed the ground in California, and that's far away from home, but it seemed like home when I got there. And I didn't even know where I lived when I come home. And I had 3 brothers in the service. 4 of us went, 4 out of 6. And I'll tell you what I did, and I recommend it to all veterans. I've got, you notice it's sitting in the floor right in that room there, a world globe. And my granddaughter was over here one day, and I had her take a magic marker, and I told her where it was and where it went, and she marked it out on the globe. And it's amazing to look at it. And of course the grandkids will enjoy that, and the great-grandkids. They'll know where I was and all that. So I was married for 56 years to a beautiful, lovely lady, Margaret Douglas, and I lost her to be 4 years in January. And I've been living alone ever since. And I'm 90-year-old and legally blind, but I'm living a fairly happy life. People are so good to me. They come get me, take me places, and you know, they bring me food, and I'm just living a right good life, but it's lonesome. I'm just pleased to death with the way people are accepting and treating veterans now. It hasn't been like that all the time, but they're recognizing more and more all the time, I guess, how important veterans were when they were soldiers. And I'm pleased about that. And I belong to the American Legion Post 18, and we do military funerals, firing squad, and I'm in the firing squad, and we buried over 600 veterans already. We do Lincoln County and the adjoining counties. There's not many of us left. We have a regimental reunion every year now, but ain't but 2 or 3 of the veterans come. It's all grandkids and kids now bringing